Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us here today. My name is Kristen Navarro, and I'm Director of Customer Success at Mountain. I'm focusing on our agency partnerships. I've been with Mountain for about 7 years in the CTV space, but have been in the ad tech performance marketing industry for about 14, with roles spanning from social, influencer marketing, branding, and now TV. As far as Mountain, for those of you that aren't familiar, so we are a self-serve performance TV platform. So brands can create and target and measure, most importantly, their ad campaigns effectively and super similarly to how they would on any social platform. Obviously, this is Social Media Week and not CTV Week, but that really brings us to why Annie and I are here today, because the two truly do go hand in hand, and I joke that they're like the most compatible partners in the entire world. And I'll let Annie introduce herself in a minute, but we have worked together for quite some time, and she's one of our most valued agency partners. So I'd love to hear a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Annie Waskover, and I'm the SVP of Accounts at Maison MRKT. I'm responsible for being the internal advocate for client experience and ensuring we continuously align our business objectives with our clients. I've been doing this for about 6.5 years, and just to give you some background about Maison MRKT, we are a digital tech ad agency, and we help integrate fundamental business objectives and bespoke acquisition strategies with different kinds of data and different platforms. And I'd say that most of our expertise is in the fashion and the beauty space, but we work across many different industries and verticals. And I actually started working with Mountain about 3 to 4 years ago, because I felt that it was a really disruptive marketing channel that was relatively new at the time, and I thought it could benefit a lot of our brands. So speaking of that, I wanted to ask you, I think connected TV has really become the third pillar of performance marketing. So can you explain a little bit more on why and how connected TV became that performance marketing channel?
Sure, absolutely. And I feel like by a show of hands, I'm sure everyone in this room is streaming content on some device at some point. So needless to say, it's definitely grown in viewership over the years, and we're continuing to see that trend continue year over year as more people are cutting their traditional cable and opting into more streaming services. So from a consumer standpoint, we obviously value the flexibility, the convenience, the on-demand capabilities. And then from a brand standpoint, it's targetable, it's measurable, it does all of the things that we need to be done in order to be successful. And then it's also become super valuable for all advertisers. I think at this stage, almost every streaming network has some ad-supported capabilities. And it hasn't really disrupted from a subscriber perspective, because you opt into, or you sign up for so many different streaming services, you're willing to pay the price with ads to keep the cost down because you have so many. So it's definitely valuable from that standpoint. And then, from a marketer's lens, the management of these campaigns are so similar to how you would manage all of your marketing and digital strategy. So there's not a big learning curve. You don't need to go through vigorous training to get acclimated. It's the same language. So the ease of use and simplicity is there. Beyond that, I would say a big kicker too is just how the technological capabilities and the advancement and innovation in this space it's rapid, which really allows all of our brands to capitalize on this viewership and the premium inventory and do what's most important for their business, which is impact their bottom line at the end of the day. And that's really what Mountain is here to support our customers and our agency partners, and make it simple for you to create campaigns, deploy them, target them, premium inventory. From a targeting standpoint, you can get as narrow or as broad as you'd like. So hyper granular, geo-targeted local markets to I want to maximize reach and awareness, you name it. And then being able to do that and get feedback in real time. So running the campaigns is great, you know they serve, but what are they doing for your business? How are they impacting you? Are you able to leverage those learnings, not just in your CTV strategy, but across your full marketing strategy, which is one thing that we kind of pride ourselves on. And then outside of that, from a metrics standpoint, same KPIs. So obviously it's a TV. You're not clicking your TV today. Who knows what'll change tomorrow. But while that's not a metric that we track, it's all other metrics that matter to a business at the end of the day, similar to what you see on Meta and on Google. You can track with TV now as well. And then our reporting dashboard is like fully customizable. You can see probably more than you even want to see from a metric standpoint. But the main takeaway is like, are your ads, like who your ads are serving to, where are they serving, when are they serving, and are they reaching the right market to drive results? I mean, I said a lot about the CTV industry at large, but and it's like advanced reporting and measurement capabilities, but it's pretty evident that it's no longer just an upper funnel awareness channel. So with that, we'd be curious to hear from you how you have helped your clients reframe their thinking around TV as a true performance channel and how that drives business outcomes.
Yeah, so I think of TV and CTV specifically as like a holistic approach that aids to the success that we have on paid search and paid social. It needs to be an incremental platform used in addition to social search, programmatic, et cetera, because we want to reach consumers in every part of their lifestyle. Think about like, we're in New York City, you're riding the subway, you're probably on Instagram or TikTok, and then later that night, you're probably watching TV at night. We want to touch that consumer and be very specific with who we're targeting within every aspect of their lifestyle. So, I think being very specific with where we're targeting, who we're targeting, and making sure that we're showing up throughout their lifestyle is extremely important. And then the other thing with CTV is, you expect to see ads on Instagram and TikTok and Pinterest and all of these social platforms, but you do not expect to see your favorite fashion brand or beauty brand on a commercial, right? You think of McDonald's or State Farm or the pharmaceutical ads, like that's what you normally see on TV, right? So imagine how we can put a very curated, targeted ad to the right consumer and it be extremely elevated in a very different way from the classic commercials, where it's just this additional touch point that is not, still to this day, is not expected from consumers. So I really think it just like elevates the consumer experience with the branding. And it's funny because I work with a lot of venture capitalists that own some of the brands that I work with, and he had really good feedback because he saw one of the ads on TV, which he was not expecting. Again, like he sees them on TikTok and all the other channels, but he saw it on TV and he was like, I cannot believe how beautiful and how on brand, and just like, it was a place I wasn't expecting to see the brand that he owns. So it really just elevates the experience, even to like sell it to the people that you're working with. And it really is just like, we're gonna say this a million times, but it's really just a halo effect that improves branding performance and enhances our social and search, which to that point, I wanted to ask you about, how CTV has helped increase performance results, and like how we're gonna see the impact overall.
Yeah, definitely. We have joked like the number of times we say the word halo effect is if you hit $1 for every time we say it today, we're all gonna leave here rich. But it's a super powerful and influential channel, and like I think the key takeaway and what we really feel is like the most successful marriage in this world is when all of your social channels mesh cohesively. So like, do you extend the messaging from one brand to another, and like how do you go about that, especially to Annie's point, as like you navigate your we're all navigating on different platforms, on different devices, and like you want to have that cohesive experience for a brand no matter where the consumer is consuming content. And our goal is to really make this accessible for brands both big and small, every vertical, B2B, B2C, like you name it, minimize any like pre-existing barriers to entry into the space. Like literally, I work with like a local pizza shop run by like, John Smith. And like he's running TV ads in his local community too, like massive brands that we expect to see. So, at Mounted, we talk so much about like the impact that we have on other marketing channels and how it creates like such a positive experience for like your mix overall. So Annie, over to you. How have you seen TV help increase performance results on your clients' other marketing channels? And brownie points, if you can share an example.
Yeah, I definitely can. I think one of the biggest reasons to why we choose Mountain specifically for CTV is because of the really in-depth parameters. I know like Kristen mentioned some of them before with the interface and the KPIs that you get from CTV now, but it really allows for us to have these really extensive